It happened right here, man. But yo, man, it has happened as of now o'clock. Cause guess what? If you look up in that corner, right? No, wait a minute, damn it, that corner right there. Yeah, that red
Right.
button that came on. We are live.
We
So it's
live.
we are live. What's good, people? Y'all know what it is. It is the two-time ATL's hottest DJ, the God DJ Agony, also known as Dr. Dope. And I told y'all don't never know who gonna be sitting on the other side of this screen right here, man. But yo, of course, I'm gonna bring up somebody and they gonna be dope. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They'd be there. Tell them who you is, cuz, what you got going on, what you do.
Hey
Let them know what it is,
man,
man.
hey man, it's your boy Music Monk ATL. I mean, I'm not even really the one for like no fancy like introductions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just try to just connect with the peoples. You know what I'm saying? Try to just connect
Dig.
with the peoples. But yeah, it's your boy Music Monk ATL, man, out here, man, about to chop it up with DJ Agony. Dope show. ATL's hottest, man. Proud to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh
Like I
man.
said before we went hot, man, I was like, yo, it's a long time in the making. Met you some years back, man. You know what I'm saying? We've always collaborated on other people's shows. You know what I mean? So the fact that I get to do your show, and just kind of just bounce ideas and just commune and fellowship with you, bro. Like I'm so looking forward to it, man. So let's crank this thing up, brother.
Indeed, 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 man. So, it's one of them things, man. One of the things that I just want to start off with. It's just, let the folks know like what are you into, man? Like what do you do? What makes Music Monk the guy to be talking to tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Music Month, man. Like for real. Like and you know what's funny, bro? Like I didn't even give myself that name, right? So it's like if anybody out there is just like, yo, like I heard this Monk dude or whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm anybody important like that, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Hey, somebody
Like
know
like
you.
like like who is this dude calling himself Music Monk? So for real, like I was working at a school and it was this young lady, and I just got to chopping it up with. I ain't even gonna lie, like I was slick trying to holler at her, and then
Of
I
course.
found out that her boyfriend was like in the same fraternity as me. So I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying, like I'm definitely gonna respect the code. But we just ended up having like a really really long conversation, and just bounced around from different genres, just talking about music in general. And by the time we got done with the conversation, she was just like, "You're like a musicologist." And I was like, huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really have that ring to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got what I appreciated it, but it didn't really have that ring to it. And she was like, no, you're like a music monk. And I was like, damn, like
That-
that's it. You
that's
know what
it.
I'm saying?
That's it.
That's
Right,
it.
right.
That's it. That's it. So I kind of just ran with it, man. And like, I mean, really, I to be honest, bro, like I feel like we're all music monks. You know what I'm saying? Like you got it, I
Mm.
got it. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's like a student of the music, a student of the craft, a student of, you know what I'm saying, of really anything, you know what I'm saying, and you really, really invest yourself and you challenge yourself and you elevate and you broaden your perspectives, then I mean that's what monk mode is all about. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it ain't me. It's like the Green Lantern. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of us.
Right, right. It's a whole federation, you know what I'm saying? But I
You
get
know
what
what
she
I'm
was saying
saying?
with ologist because you look at anybody that's an ologist is somebody that's saying that studies the study of or what have you. But yeah, music monk versus musicologist is just it sounds so much cooler. And then if
Right.
anybody
You
ever
know what I'm
if
saying?
and if anybody knows you in real life, they know you always got a hood on. So it's just like, oh, he a monk for real.
Oh yeah, hey man, like that's my calling card, man. You know.
Yeah, it's
So
times I walk up to you. I'm thinking we in the Shaolin movie. I walk up like this, Buddha's name be praised. Uh-oh. Well, damn. Look we have hit the wall, people. Uh-oh. Think you're trying to come back. There you
All
go.
right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, you back moving, man. You back
Yeah,
moving. We good.
yeah, we good. We good. We
Yeah.
good. We good. We moving. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Big shouts
man.
out to
So,
Regina
but
Sunshine
yeah,
in the
you know,
building.
so. Oh, hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Damn. Uh well that just happened. Look, come to the dope show. You never know what's liable to happen, man. In the meantime, in between time, quick 30 a couple nights ago. Like I said, I'm starting my quick 30 top 10 list. So last couple nights ago was top 10 Biggie songs. If you have not seen that, definitely go check that out. Also go check out the dope interview from last week. If you have not seen it, my scholar himself, Dr. Brewington. Yo, I'll give y'all a sneak peek at this week's quick 30 since you know what I'm saying, while we wait on Monk to climb back in the room. This week's quick 30. And the reason why I did this is because this show is often heralded as one of the best sitcoms of all time, best sitcoms of the '90s, and the show I'm talking about is Friends. Um, yeah, nah, I can't even tell you if I've ever seen a full episode of Friends from credit to credit, like dead serious. I cannot tell you if that's ever happened or not. So to herald this show that I've never seen, greatest show, greatest sitcom ever, greatest, say sitcom of the '90s. I can't buy that. So this week's quick 30 is going to be top 10 shows of that era better than Friends. Now, just to clear up what era I'm talking about, so I don't go too far back and people are like, well, that don't count. Okay, Friends was on from '94 to 2004. So any show that ran in that gamut of 10 years, yeah, 10 shows between '94 and '04 better than Friends. This is going to be too easy. Y'all stick around and make sure y'all peep that. This probably be this Wednesday. Uh, mm-mm. Meanwhile, uh, 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 yep, that just happened again. But anyway, so my people that's watching, I see there's a couple of y'all in the room right there in the chat. Yo, jump in the chat and holler at me, man. What's on y'all mind? What's going on this very, very, very dope Friday? Um, like I said, anybody got suggestions? Yo, anybody could think of anything right off as far as shows better than Friends, particularly black shows, because Yo, LF in the building. What up, Shouter? Yeah, that list gonna be good, and you know what's highly likely that's gonna be toward the top. It's a show that me and you constantly talk about that will be very, very, very high on the list. Um, but yeah, that list is gonna be crazy though. That list is gonna be nuts, and you know what? It's just one of those things like you can't tell me that Friends is better than. I can't tell you what show it is because y'all gotta tune in Wednesday for that. Wednesday for the quick 30. Like we got mom back in the building. Looking forward to that quick 30. Yeah. I'm about to say make sure you in the building for it because it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. And if anybody that's a fan of Friends, tell me why Friends is such a good show. You tell me. If anybody that is in the dope chat right now or that watches this later and decide that, hey man, Friends ain't that bad, man. It don't have no black people, but it pretty good. Okay, cool. Tell me what makes Friends better than my favorite black shows of the '90s. If you can tell me that, I will listen. I will definitely listen to that conversation. Hey, make a list. Check it twice. Cause yeah, it's gonna be one of those shows to where, it's gonna it may ruffle some feathers. There might be some fans or friends out there. I don't know these people, but they may exist. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that just thinking like, "Hey, man, Friends is cool, man. I like that show." You know what I'm saying? So if it moves you, then cool, jump on in, man. There he is.
Yeah, had some technical difficulties, but I'm back. It's all good.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you go live, boy. It's never you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, what I'm saying. You just gotta roll with it. But
Oh yeah,
I did
always.
kind of hear, man, like Friends is not really the move like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like I could see we talking like, but you did mention '90s though, like, so I came in on the tail ending of it.
Hmm.
But I mean, between Seinfeld, Friends, there's probably another one. They were good shows, but I mean, I didn't really see. I felt like Martin, you know, really, really like any of the black shows that we had, really, what I'm saying, really could stack up against any of those shows, and really
Ex-
surpass those shows to me.
exactly. Exactly. I know someone
Living
who loves
Single,
Friends.
I
She
mean, Living
see every
Single.
single episode, binge watches all the time. Is this person black? I just gotta throw that out there. Like I I mean
It's
I don't know but this many white people, and so I haven't reached out to them and asked them, "Hey man, you watch Friends?" Like the conversation just never goes like, "Yo, did you see that episode of Friends last night?" Yo, it was bugging. Jennifer Aniston was wilding, cuz it's never happened. That conversation's
it
never
it it, it's almost like it's assumed. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're white, you're in this age group, you like Friends.
happened.
Like
You know what?
like there's no need,
Here,
but there's no need to really ask. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm pretty sure they got stereotypes of us, but damn it, I don't mind flipping the script. Like, that's probably why you don't hear them talk about it, because it's like, yeah, like, of course I like Friends.
you're right,
Who
but
doesn't
you
like Friends?
but you know what? It's the same to be said from that age group before us in Seinfeld, like or Cheers,
Yeah,
like. And
yeah.
I've never seen any of those shows. Like, I know Cheers had a bar,
I've seen them.
and Ted Danson was there, and Kirstie Alley was there, and there was a bar.
A
There was a
lot of
bar.
other people were there. Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
right. And I'm pretty sure
Uh,
at said bar they were drinking. So, I'm sure that happened. They drank at the bar. People. That's all I got.
it happens. Right,
It
it
happened.
happens. You know what I'm saying?
It
Yeah,
happened.
it
It
happens.
happened. So
So,
man, where you from, man?
man, I was born in Savannah. But I've been in Atlanta since I was probably about like a week old. You know what I mean? So,
That
originated
counts.
from Southwest Atlanta.
That counts.
Southwest Atlanta too strong. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying?
Okay. Yeah. SWATs ain't
So,
playing no
always,
games.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, just always been a West Side guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
Mm.
resonates with me. I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it's something about like my perspective and my upbringing that I feel like is distinctly West Side. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, and not to say one's better or one, directionally or regionally one's, you know what I'm saying? But I can just, for
Yeah.
me, I'm a real West Side cat. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's cool. Nowadays, like I'm around people from everywhere else, from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, had this been 20 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, nah, East Side hold. Then I'd hit the little button, and then the box would have zoomed out again.
And 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying, we could have did that, you know what I mean, on and been friendly, you know what I'm saying, been friendly rivals, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the things, like, I kind of miss, going into, the young lady, Miss Amaretta the Great, who I feel like she's a beautiful young lady. She does have a skill set, but she does not have an infrastructure behind her that's like guiding her on what to say. Like, she could have been like, she really, now the video done got millions of views. She done sparked a lot of controversy. We from here. it's all love. Like in our age bracket, it's all love. You know what I mean? We're not really divisive like that when it comes to Atlanta because we were
Yeah.
everywhere. You know what I mean? Like you drive through Atlanta, it take you 10 minutes to drive through from the west side, and you'll be in the east side like really fast. So all the territorial stuff really didn't matter to us because we just had people all over the place. You know what I mean? So
Right, right. I mean, and
it's all
it
Atlanta
was
to
like
me.
one of those things. When we was 18, 19. Big shouts out to my homies in Decatur. We used to make that road trip down 20 and go to the bounce every Saturday night like clockwork. Like you would have thought the bounce was on Candler the way I'm
Right.
talking about, and we would pull up in droves. It's like 6 cars deep. And like, yo, East Side finna be in the bounce tonight. Right there, smack dab on
Yeah.
Bankhead.
And that's how
But
we
you would
felt about the gate. You know what I'm saying? We felt like that about the gate sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah,
you see what I'm
y'all
saying?
went in
You
the
see what I'm saying?
y'all went in
Like,
the gate
hey,
because y'all was some nasty niggas because it was some high ass helpers in there,
hey, hey,
and it was next
hey,
door to
hey,
Jazzy
hey,
T's.
hey, bro. I was just, hey, bro. I was a square man when I was a youngster. I was just a fly on the wall, bro. I was just observing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I'm gonna
I
be
placed
I'm gonna
myself there, but
I'm gonna
not.
be I gotta reach out to some folks who was because I wasn't old enough to go to the gate. Like when they closed the gate, I was only 12, so I wasn't even old enough to get in when they closed it. But man, I'm talking about man, god
Shit, I was
damn,
about
I never
15.
forget it.
I was about
I never
15.
forget. Hey, I never forget this one time. I'm on the chat line, right? If you old ATL, you know about that chat line.
Right.
I lied to this
Know
girl,
about the
told I was
chat
four.
line.
I lied to the girl, told I was 14.
I,
I'm
I was
12 as
just
hell.
about to say that's where the catfish first started on the chat line. That where
These are.
catfishing started on the chat line.
I told her I'm 14, and she said, "All right, well, shoot, we going to the gate Saturday. Meet me up there." I'm like, "What's the gate?" Yo, if anybody
Nah,
is in
bruh.
here that is old Decatur, particularly old East Side, that has been to the gate, check in the track, man. Check in because when you say the gate, that brings back so many memories of somewhere I've never been.
I think so like more specifically, there was a historic night at the gate. I believe I want to say Luke came up there. So
Oh shit!
if anybody was at the gate when Luke came to the gate, this was like mid late '90s. If you went to the gate a lot, you probably was there. Chime in the chat. You know what I mean? Because I mean I didn't go because like I
Please
said
do.
I was a square. But from what I heard, it was a lot
If
of debauchery going on. You know what I mean?
all you got to say was look, but you got to think though, and for the folks who don't know the gate geographically, right? It's sat in the corner in Plaza on Columbia Drive. Literally next door was a strip club, and then next door to Jazzy T's was a pool hall. So you got a pool hall, a strip club, and was the gate considered a teen club, or was just a lot of young folks up in
Bruh, bruh. To this day, I don't know. I never saw an ID get checked. Bruh, I don't know. I don't know. Like for real, for real. Like I was just like, I mean, I want to go. Is it a teen club? When I asked, I never got confirmation when I would ask if it was a teen club. But I would always hear the stories after the fact. You know what I'm saying? But but when I did go in there, it reminded me of like a skating rink without the skates. Like basically everybody
there.
just like you know what I'm saying? Like so basically kind of like a teen club really, where
Okay.
they doing like inappropriate things.
That whole section, that little part of Columbia
Bruh.
Drive right there was very
Was the
inappropriate
rat
for
that
its
was ratchet before
yes, before we had a
ratchet
word
before it was ratchet.
before we had a word for it. The
Ratchet
gate,
before
Jazzy T's. As a
ratchet.
matter of fact, that pool hall was called the Pool Palace, if I'm not mistaken. And before there was
That
one
was the
on
pool palace.
yeah, before it was on Bankhead, I want to say that was called the Pool Palace.
I
Yeah.
mean, really, West Side ain't really, you know what I'm saying, didn't really have like a whole lot of clubs. I feel like East Side had really more clubs. West Side had like probably more strip clubs than they had actual clubs for real. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might
See,
be, you know,
and see, that just goes to show you that West Side shit right there. They don't want to party and have a good time. Just get naked, baby. Damn.
right. You know what I'm saying? Just off rip, just
West
off
Side dudes,
rip.
they
You
ain't
know what
got
we came to do.
no poise, no tact. Just get naked. Goddamn. So let me ask you this.
Now hold
Okay.
on. Now you now
Huh?
look. We ain't got no poise. We ain't got no tact. Oh damn. You
Hey,
might be look. You might be right though.
you
You
know we
might
gonna
be
be
right.
cracking all night, right? You do know we got
I
another.
know, bro. I know. I'm thinking to myself like, shit. You might be right. You might be right. I'm like far west side though. I'm a little more refined.
Right.
I grew up really half in the suburbs, so nigga
So
a little bougie. I'm
you on that
bougie a little bit though,
you on that part of the West Side where they still had trees and whatnot. Come out, wave at your
bruh,
neighbors.
bruh, bruh. I grew up in a neighborhood. I had deer in my yard and shit. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
shit.
So
Oh shit.
But I went from living in a I went from living in a house, you know what I mean, that was like right there, like right in the heart of the West End, and late '80s. It don't matter how much history you got in that area, you know what I mean. Like I'm like a half a block from Outcast, not the group, but the motorcycle club,
Mm,
their original clubhouse. The Black Hebrew Israelites had a strong community out there.
facts.
Um, uh, H. Rap Brown,
Facts.
excuse me, by the time he changed his name to Alameen, you know what I mean, he was over there, Shrine of the Black Madonna.
Right there on Abernathy.
Even right, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just grew up in the midst of a lot of history, but even in that, um, crack was for real. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a lot of crack in the West End, but because West End was so rustic and so rugged and so durable, it was able to disguise or cloak its crack to a certain extent.
Right. And it's one of those things, as much as I joke and crack on the West Side, the heart of the conscious community is that neighborhood that he's talking about. That West End, Abernathy, Lee Street, Howell Park, West
Queen,
End Park. You
yep,
know what I'm saying? Because you got the
yep,
AUC
yep,
on one side, like right over the hill on Lee Street, and then like
yep.
it's a lot of consciousness, particularly for the city of Atlanta, was bred right in that area. So I will give them a shout out for that because hey, I cannot deny, cannot deny that.
And that's the connectivity that I feel. You know what I mean? Like like I went to private school. I went to, a matter of fact, it's a Catholic school. It's still open. It's called Our Lady of Lourdes. It's right across from the King Center.
Mm,
So I went to that school. I mean, I was really young, but I was old enough to be aware to know that I was going to school right behind the birthplace of Dr. King. I knew
mm.
that, you know what I mean? And, just thinking about that and just being imbued with that, growing up. After that, I actually went to a school, which I think is a GNet school now, North Metro. I think that's still over there. But when I was going there, that was Oglethorpe Elementary School.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm, you know what I'm saying? So now Friendship has moved across the street over there from their original location that was right there at the corner where Mercedes Benz is now. So like I said, I mean, just to be enthralled in the history of that area, like a lot of people be like, damn, like why he so Atlanta? You know what I mean? Like I'm Atlanta because I see it, I witnessed it. You know what I mean? I mean my dad went to Morris Brown. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it's so many different nuances, and I love that area. You know what I mean? So I mean it would just make sense that I would have such an affinity for Atlanta, as well as the best group ever from the best collective ever. You know what I'm saying? Outkast.
With a K.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I
And
mean? Them
and
niggas is hard.
that's one of the things they keep talking about, like doing a versus with Outkast, right? And the name they
Shut.
the group they always want to throw out there is like, yo, what about Outkast gets Mob Deep? I'm like, I'm sorry, if I'm biased, whatever. Outkast a body Mobb Deep easily. Like
I
it,
feel like
that would be a 19-1, and the only one I give them is Eye for an Eye.
I think that
18-2. We'll throw in Quiet Storm.
yeah, I'm like, are we automatically going to just give them Quiet Storm? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really no comparison for what they were able to do. You know what I mean? I can't really think of a group that could really go against them and it resonate across the entire country. A lot of the artists that people are naming that that could potentially go up against an Outcast are they're more so regional acts. Not that people don't know them, but they're mostly regional acts. You know what I'm saying? So overall, Outkast is pretty much bodying like everybody.
Right.
They're bodying everybody. Let's run them up. Bone, body.
Well, I mean, we saw them get bodied by
It ain't a wash.
we saw them get bodied by 3-6, and that was a wash. They got bodied by 3-6. That was inappropriate.
Somebody said Wu Tang. Somebody said, you know what I'm saying, maybe like a Wu Tang, and I'm just like, nah, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Because although, see, Agony, this is the beautiful thing about where we're from. And this is the thing that, you know what I'm saying. Like I put the true heart of Atlanta's culture up against anybody for the fact that when you were growing up here, you didn't have a regional bias towards any other group of music, you know what I'm saying, or creatives or collectives. I
Right.
got friends that I grew up with that were, you know what I'm saying, that were into Shaolin. I got friends that I grew up with that were into No Limit. I got friends that I grew up with that was into, you know what I'm saying, that was into all of the West Coast stuff, Midwest rap. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute.
Down south,
Mid,
like everywhere.
Midwest. We count Texas, or is
We
Texas more
absolutely
south?
counting Texas.
I'm just saying, is that south or is that
Nah, we're
Midwest?
gonna count. That is south. That's south by southwest, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But no,
Oh,
no, no.
then it.
But I would give them. I would I would say Midwest.
Oh, yeah, I fuck with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and see,
yeah.
and see, here's the thing
So
though,
you know, I feel like
and you were here for this. It's like we didn't get play on major video channels like Yo MTV Raps, Rap City. We didn't start getting play really till Outkast. So if we wanted to watch local regional shit, you had to watch American Rap Maker or Planet Rock on Saturday night.
hey man, rest in peace, man. Rest with the ancestors, man. Arnell
Arnell
Starr,
Star.
like
God damn.
Arnell Starr and his Arnell Starr and his S curl and the way he would just, you know what I'm saying, like he had a particular articulation about himself. I would say verbally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he had a very, very, very unique way that he spoke. But shouts out to him because, by the time BET Uncut showed up on the scene, if
He
you
had been
from
done that.
Atlanta, like that wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah.
good Kizzy Rock video, a good Kizzy Rock, bruh, a good Kizzy Rock
Okay. So
video.
so you saying you remember when he
Bro, you
shot
ain't
yeah
ready,
he
bruh. Bro,
he shot hold on, he shot Yeah Shouted Yale in Jazzy Tees and
and Jazzy Tees,
Arnell
and
Star
Jazzy
interviewed
Tees,
him
bruh,
on the set of Yeah
right
Shouted
there,
Yale in Jazzy Tees. So
right
you
there,
sit up there watching them have an interview, it's ass walking by all in the background.
bruh. Bruh, Kizzy Rock really arguably made really like the tip top booty shaped videos of our childhood. Cause I can't really, you know what I'm saying, like some of the other videos weren't really making it like that. Cause by then, cause you gotta think like American rap makers transition over into American music makers. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, I never really knew why that happened, but I mean, we had DJ Taz out there, we had Raheem the Dream out there, We had who else
Smurf,
was making like some booty shake?
DJ Smurf.
Smurf, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Smurf was out there.
And then you gotta think
I
about
mean,
all the
obviously Kilo,
right Kilo.
Ali.
And you gotta think of all the cats who weren't from here, but they videos got played like Splat Pack videos would drop on there.
Splat Pack, yep, Splat Pack, Southern players.
Southern
Shout out to BJ.
big shouts out to Southern players, BJ Bowman, what up, man? But
You
yeah,
know what I'm
like
saying?
those that was the avenue those videos got played. Mind you, y'all, we are talking about what a good 10 years before Uncut, before BET decided to do Uncut. We're talking about a good 10 years before that, right?
You know what? I can't say definitively when BET uncut. I'm trying to think when the tip drill video controversy. I'm trying to think when that was, and I want to say that was like around about 2002 or three or something like that,
2000,
somewhere around there.
2000, 2003, 4-ish, because I think Uncut actually jumped about 2000, 2001. It was around my senior year in high school when I discovered it. And my boy hit me up and was just like, yo, there's a show that comes on 3 in the morning that show butt naked videos. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's called the Playboy.
Everything,
That's called the Playboy
everything,
channel. We've been staring through the static for years. We ain't gonna see nothing. He said, nah, it's on BET. And I'm like, nigga, stop lying. This nigga lying. Hey, this nigga lying, y'all. He was like, nah, dead serious. So that night, what I did, I set an alarm to go off at 2:50, put a VHS in, and you know, if you was born in the 90s or forward, y'all don't know this struggle. So just pay attention, catch this little history lesson. Put a VHS in, turn the TV on, put the volume up just high enough, put it on goddamn BET, turn the
just
TV
high
back
enough.
just high enough, turn the TV back off. Well, hit record, then turn the TV off. Next day, I'm thinking about it the whole day. Get home from school. Let me see what the hell I got here. Hit play. I'll never forget the very first video I saw was Mystical Shake It Fast. But I saw the uncut version. And I'm like,
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was
I'm
ridiculous.
I'm fresh out of school and
But
I ain't even put my books down. Y'all. I'm starting to like, let me take that book back. All right, quick, cause this shit for real right here. Hmm. And Uncut had them artists that you ain't heard of before then or since then.
or
Big
since then, right? Or
right.
since then,
I mean, big shouts out to what was the dude? Joker the Bail Bondsman. What was the one dude who had the joint what that thing smell like? Uh I ain't got no panties on. Like these were anthems, y'all. But we would stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning watching this
bruh,
shit.
bruh, and I can't, and look, I don't remember any of those dudes. I
I,
don't
you know,
remember any of those dudes.
I would be honest. I still go look that shit up on YouTube from time to time because it's at this point it's nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? It take me back to being in my dorm room waiting on it to come on. But
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
but yeah, but we had that right here in Atlanta, American Rap Maker and Planet Rock, and like I said, you know when y'all watch the MTV version of Tag Team Whoop, there it is. That wasn't the one on American Rap Maker. When y'all saw the BET version of 95 South, that wasn't the one on American Rap Maker. Uh, you remember 12 Gauge? 12 Gauge had this one video.
12 gauge. Yep,
It was
yep.
so that original video, the one we was watching on BET, that was so lame. Saw it on American Rap Maker about 12 o'clock that night, and it was like, ah, okay, okay. And that's when I really start picking up, like, yo, there's a clean version and a dirty version to these videos. Ha, LF. That video was classic though. Hey, they had that one scene in the video where all the girls walking past the old man. That was how they getting in the club. The old man said, ugh. I'm telling you, yo, big shouts out to goddamn anybody graduated high school, class of 2000, 2001, anybody '02, anybody around that era, because y'all was in the dorm rooms up and down the hall 3 o'clock in the morning while I'm in there watching Uncut with the TV blasting. My bad, y'all. Hope everything worked out. Y'all graduated the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to y'all.
Shout out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw myself in there because I graduated class of '99. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna throw myself in there. But you know what's crazy though, bro?
What's that?
Like had my birthday been like a couple of days later, I would have been class of 2000.
Really? And
Yeah,
see,
cause we got the cutoff. We got the cutoff in Georgia.
right. And see, I was actually supposed to be
So
in class of '02 and went to private school so that I
mm,
wouldn't have to. So I ended up coming out
gotcha.
'01 a year early, but yeah, I was supposed to be in class of '02, man. But I hung around with about everybody in that building, man. Anybody from '98 to class of '03. I was like, you know what? Y'all cool too. Why not? But
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that's the cool part about being in our age group right now is like I mean, we pretty much can relate to anybody at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like we can connect with the youth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I admire what you're doing in the classroom. You know what I mean? Especially the fact you teaching math. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you're teaching our people's. You know what I'm saying? Language. Like
that's our
our people's
language.
discovery.
I mean, yeah.
We ain't created, but we definitely discovered it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
mean,
math. You
it
know what I'm
is
saying? Like math was here to be discovered.
it is the universal language, and it's one of those things. Everything else in school could possibly be disputed except mathematics. So I
Right.
don't know.
Right.
They heard I could add a little bit, and then they gave me a job. We teach other people how to add a little bit too. So we all try to add on a little something.
Amen. 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 Hey, man. Salute to you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
of
Appreciate
course,
that.
we, all of the rhetoric. You know, we need more black male teachers, but I can't. You know, what I mean, at the end of the day, there also has to be an appreciation for black male teachers, for their intellect.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Not to be enforcers, not to be security guards, not to only be coaches.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean?
There you go. That was the
Like
third one.
we have, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we have, you know what I mean? We have a place in education if it can just be seen as fully and as bright as our counterparts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout
Hey.
out to all the educators. You know what I mean? But I just specifically wanted to give you your flowers. You know what I mean? Because
Ah,
I see
cool.
what you're doing, brother.
Ah, cool. Yo,
You know what
man,
I'm
I
saying? I
appreciate
see what
that.
you're doing.
I appreciate that. I
See
really
what
do
you're doing.
appreciate that. Shouts out to
Yep.
Regina
Yep.
Sunshine and
Yep.
Billy. Yo, I appreciate you, man. I just do what I can with what I got. You know what I'm saying? I read a little bit and I got a really good calculator. but
Hey,
but no, but getting back
I
to
got to
Atlanta
look.
though.
I got an advocate.
Oh man, I'm talking about the uh, count them up.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
But back. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
one
Definitely
thing,
back to the.
the one thing about Atlanta particularly, like what made growing up in Atlanta and just being down here, particularly around that period, was so great, was you remember now, okay, answer me this, and I'm pretty sure you got to answer it. How many people have you met just in your time and your travels down here in the city that came down here for somewhere else to go to Freaknik and never went back home?
Um. I'll be honest. It's been like I didn't start really encountering those people until I got a little bit older.
Hmm.
Freaknik was really just ahead of, it's just slightly before my time, just slightly.
Yeah, I missed it.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time everybody was skipping school, to go to Freaknik, like if you went to APS, you definitely, you had access because you were down, you were already in the city.
Right.
If you lived outside of the city, somebody had to have a car, and you had to
Hmm.
obviously skip school to go do that. And just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like I know people that did do it, but I wasn't doing it. So by the time Freaknik, was on the downside, it wasn't the same. Everything was blocked off. So
Yeah.
it just had morphed into something different. But when I got older, I met a couple of people. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people that were just like, yeah, man. Like I just fucking stayed. You know what I mean? Um, but because because the numbers of people of original natives that are here, like them, they're few and far between.
Nowadays,
Um,
right.
even Right, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, so the likelihood of even running into someone, from Atlanta, let alone the other nuance of having stayed here, you know what I'm saying, as a result of being hooked on the freaknik, you know what I'm saying? Like, But I would say it's probably, I'm gonna say it minimum is 1,000 people, minimum 1,000 people right now in the A that came. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I think that's a reasonable number. Like, I'm gonna go with 1,000. I'm gonna
I
say it's
mean,
1,000 people.
that's a good number though. I mean, because I actually met a brother. I've actually met a couple of brothers. It was one he was from like Brooklyn or something. He was New York as hell, Tim's the whole nine. And he was like, he heard about
Yeah,
it from he heard about it because one of his homies had a cousin that was down here and said, "Yo, y'all need to come down here on this particular weekend. It's going down in the city." Said he came down to Freaknik that first time, had a fucking ball, went back to New York, came back a second time, and was just like, "Yo," he said that third time he came, he went back to New York and stayed for like a month to get his affairs in order or whatever he had to do up there. Came back here, never left. Dude's still here now. So yeah, that's one of the things though. I
you know,
mean, and it was one of my biggest gripes about how it's kind of like it was a gift and a curse of how inclusive the city is. The city welcomed everybody in and made you feel like you was at home. I think the problem is in recent years, and I say recent as in like the last 15 to 20 years, we've become too accommodating to the point to where it's no longer the people who lives their home. Like everyone else has come in and made themselves at home, but it's not, the people who live here and who are from here. It's not our home no more.
I so my brother.
Hmm.
That's why the sorry not sorry remix is so important. So going back to Amaretta the Great and Big
Okay.
Lotto. Shouts out to Big Lotto. Shouts out to Amaretta the Great. Um, that that right there to me, if she was my artist, I would coach her and mold her and guide her with understanding the history and being able to articulate that in a way that can resonate across demographic, like across age groups. Because
Hmm.
really, all she had to say was like, "I'm talking to the people that just kind of just came here, like you flew here, we grew here type situation."
Right. Right.
And she could have really like banded everybody together, but she kind of went out there a little haphazardly and didn't really put a lot of thought into the questions because she knew that this was going to they knew this was going to set it off.
Nobody.
They knew this was going to set it off, bro. You know what I mean?
And the reason why I have to agree with you, nobody prepared her. She went on Tigger and got roasted.
Unprepared,
Unprepared. Like
unprepared.
she was
I
not
would
ready
have
for
never
a
let her
veteran.
do that.
No, they did though. Like she had no answer for why she shot it at the first answer for why she shot it at Truist Park in Marietta was, oh well, we did shoot some scenes at the bins, but those didn't make it in the video. I'm thinking, if anything, those would be the scenes to make it in the video. So then, she gets
I
on
would
Tigger
have.
and she doesn't have a straight answer. I mean, it's Marietta, it's Cobb County, but the Braves won. So that okay, so is it because of the Braves or is it because of bad editing? Like, what happened with that? No straight answer. Tigger also asked her again, okay, well, we started talking about the zones, this, that, and the third. She can't tell you where 2, 5, and 6 are. No clue. Like she needed serious coaching, and whoever it was just bit into it, let her go out there, and it was like one of those things. Like, yeah, okay, we was mad at you, but now we just kind of embarrassed.
Uh, yeah. But anyone who has seen Amaretta on Love and Hip Hop, you would know she she kind of has that, like that young person's I don't need your help type attitude about it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe someone did try to say, hey, you might want to research, you might want to do some studying. But I gotta, what I'm saying, like outside of that, I gotta give it to Big Lotto because Big Lotto's verse was very, very, it was very, very matter of fact, and it was of the times. It was what we needed. It was actually a unifying type of verse because the last part of the verse, I mean, of course, I'm gonna be partial to my dudes, you know what I'm saying? But she was just really just talking about how, Sierra, who else? Luda, Monica, you know what I'm saying? Like like all of the people that came from these areas of Atlanta, like we Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all the same. And then she ended it with Outkast came and saved Atlanta. And like I appreciate her for putting a verse out there like that that's not divisive. You know what I'm saying? That you can clearly like you don't really have to try to formulate what her point is on this one.
Right.
It's not polarizing. You know what I'm saying? So I like the combination. Yeah, Amaretta got roasted. She can rebound. The song is gonna help her rebound. But yeah, if that was my artist, she would have been completely prepared.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely. And see,
Completely.
part of that is like you got to blame her people for that. Like her people really they kind of just set her out there. Like if nothing else, your big
I
cousin didn't
don't
tell
know,
you
bro.
because.
I
But the
don't
thing
know,
is,
bro.
like I said, I didn't
I don't
I
know,
didn't know
man.
who she was. Like I didn't know she came from loving hip hop, and she had been out here trying to push music for a few years now. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of her.
So how old is she? She's like what? She's like in her early 20s, right?
That'd be
She's
my
like
guess.
early 20s, right? Let's just
Hmm.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That so you know what I'm saying, and I would agree with that. These 20-year-olds, you can tell them things just like people would try to tell us. And it don't matter until it clicks. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to have the school of life kind of jar you and shake you a loose. You know what I'm saying? Like shake that ego up just a little bit. You
But
know
see,
what I'm saying?
here's the thing though.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. Made her look like she wasn't even in Atlanta. Like for real, for real.
But here's the thing though. Uh, with with our generation though, and I could only speak for me. I used to love to sit here and listen to the old heads talk about back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like when they was talking that shit about, oh well, back in goddamn 78, man, I used to do woo woo. I'm sitting up there like this. Then what happened? Ah, that's crazy. Ah, so what happened after that?
I
Ah, shit.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
There were, you
but
know what
like
I'm
I,
saying, like
but
there
like you
were
said though,
there were
we,
pockets of us who were very curious.
yeah. I mean, because I knew one of the things that I knew that the old heads had to do something right to become old heads. They didn't die young fools. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and plus, if nothing else, them stories were funny as shit. And of course, at this point, the story done got embellished so much. A trip across the street might have turned into a damn road trip down the street, across the world, and there was hoes over here, there was cocaine over here. By the time that old head get through telling that story, and the only thing you had to do, you went in the store, hey young blood, grab me a little something, man, grab me a little something. You come out there, bring him an old English 800, and you got at least a good 30-minute story on your hands.
I love stories, man. Like I love, you know what I'm saying. Like I love the story, you know what I'm saying. Like the storytellers, man. Like
Yeah,
I mean, we're all storytellers, but as you get older, you really learn the art of the art of timing and intention and delivery. You know what I mean?
hmm,
So,
absolutely,
but yeah,
absolutely.
man. Hey,
Hmm.
no, what you got?
Oh, go ahead, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. So, like I said, moving forward, the next time she does an interview, I feel like she gonna be good to go. She's she's going to listen next time. That's the whole point. Like she's going to listen. When they tell her, "Hey, you might want to do something," she's going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be alright, man. Like Atlanta's just that spot, man. Atlanta's definitely is definitely that spot.
Yeah.
So outside, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of the city, for you, you know what I'm saying? What do you know what I'm saying? Like what are you listening to outside of what would be considered direct black music?
Oh, that's a really good question. So, as far as see, That's such a it's such a funny question, and the reason why I say that is because we touched everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything could be every genre of music has been touched by bloods, by black people. You know what I'm saying? Um, but what's in my rotation is, is, and it's one of those things that it's still new to me, but I listen to it a little more now than I would have. Is a house. Like I've been digging house lately. I want to say within the past couple of years, like yo, I listen to house like on purpose.
I have been I am a how I'm like a second or third way house fan. So I get my house music through artists like James Blake or Toro Imoy. You know what I mean? Like artists, you know what I'm saying, that have a strong house influence, but not they aren't completely house.
Mm,
They might be a little bit, you know what I'm saying. They might be a little a little alt rock, more, you know what I'm saying, more electronic, more EDM. You know what I mean. They kind of mix a little bit of everything together,
mm,
but their mid tempo and their up tempo is primarily house derived. So you know what I'm saying, anything with that house bounce to it, where you can just put it on and just let it play. You can just let it play for hours and hours and hours, and you might have listened to 30 songs or you might have listened to one song, but you never
mm-hmm.
get tired of that bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really like I'm really intrigued by music that you can vibe out slowly, or you can dance and you can sweat it out. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
house is I see why people love house.
Yeah,
I see why
yeah.
people love house.
And what caught, what got me onto it was, anybody remember DTTO show Thursday nights? After the show, we would always go to Bacardi's. Big shouts out to Bacardi's, by the way. Port Free Pizza Spot on Lee Street.
West
Go
End,
there, go
Lee
there, eat
Street.
good. Yes, sir. So they had started doing house night on Thursday, so we go in there and it's like a house club. And just listening to
Right.
some of the mixes, like how he was taking songs that I knew, but like laying them over house tracks, I'm like, whoa, whoa, okay, I'm liking this. You know what I'm saying? And realizing that, a lot of the stuff that I had heard years before was house music. I'm like, oh, so I've been listening to this sort of.
And see, exactly. So for me growing up, early on, like, you know what I'm saying, like before, before Players Ball came out, right? I
Hmm.
was listening to I was listening to like Power 99. You know what I mean? So
That
Power
was a
99
that was a
was
rock
a pop
station.
station. Well, it went to 99X, but it
Oh.
was like a 90s, like a late 80s, 90s kind of like a pop station. You know what I mean? So they would
Hmm.
play stuff like KLF. They would play Snap. They would play Power by Snap. CNC Music Factory. They
Yeah.
would play. I mean, just Tektronic. You know what I mean? Like so many different dance artists, you know what I mean? And like back then, it wasn't so much as it was house. Like what's his name? Hadaway.
Oh, what is love?
I think it's Hadaway. What is
Yeah.
love? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was just so many songs. You know what I mean? I think then it kind of morphed into like what was that? Maybe like some stadium rock type shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it kind of lost its luster after a while, but those were, you know what I'm saying, to your point, you know what I mean? Like those were like the my initial entry, you know what I'm saying, into like, like the seed was planted. You know what I
Mm.
mean? The
Definitely,
seed was
definitely.
definitely planted, you know what I mean, for that, you know what I'm saying, for that house music. So,
Right. Let me ask you this: you playing a live
yo man,
instruments?
yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been playing guitar for a while.
Oh, really?
I've been playing guitar for a while. Yeah, I play guitar. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not as diligent as I once was. At one point in time, I was literally playing like every day.
Mm.
Had a cool little group, was experimenting. Like this is when I was in my alternative rock phase. So anything from White Stripes, Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave, you know what I'm saying? Like just like I was just like in like the more obscure, the better it was for my palate. You know what I mean? For my ear palate. So and then and then as time went on, I got into motorcycles. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a motorcycle riding, guitar playing. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so Purple Rain is like my favorite movie ever. And then you got
Makes
Biker
sense.
Boys, so I'm like, I'm gonna put Purple Rain and Biker Boys together. You know what I mean? In my mind, though, bro. Like just in my mind, right? Like in my mind.
D D.
And then so over time you just you just collect skill sets that
Mm,
involve music, frequency, spirit, mind,
right.
and I just have a really, really good sense of touch. So all of those things coalesce into one thing. But yeah, I can pretty like I've been able to like pick up instruments and just play them. Like I naturally can play bass, I naturally can play violin,
Oh wow.
I naturally can play mandolin, and these are instruments that I just bought and I just started just doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And we'll do recordings with those. But then I will move on. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Miss Sunshine. Thank you.
Yeah, man, and that, that's one of those things that it's just I never stuck with it was playing a live instrument like, but between the drums and the bass guitar, like those are some of those things. Like I ever meet somebody to play the drums, I'm like, yo, what's that like? And dude was like, oh, it's easy, just like driving a stick. Oh shit, what's that like? Because I don't do that either.
In the like my first car was like a '88 Ford Escort GT with the manual transmission.
Yeah,
I was all over the city, man. The temp over there, in the temp where I shouldn't have been. Over there,
facts.
right, for real. Over there off of Delk Road where I shouldn't have been. You
Whoo,
know what
not
I'm
Del
saying?
Road.
So,
Uh,
hey man, hey, it's Dave and Buster's over there. That's all I'm gonna say. It's Dave and
yeah,
Buster's
yeah,
over there.
David Buster's. It's a couple other spots over there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right. That's my
Right.
story. That's my story. I'm
No,
sticking
no,
to it. I'm sticking to it. You know what I mean?
but
You know.
yeah, man. No, my first ride was an '88 Jimmy, and it's like from then I've never owned a car.
Oh, right.
It's always been a truck for me. So it was an '88 Jimmy. That was my first one, and like you said, all over the damn city. You know what I'm saying? Between Jimmy Carter. No, I'm from Decatur. I ain't got no business on Jimmy Carter, but there was Dave and Buster's
Man,
up
we
there, I think.
bruh. You can't look. You can use it, but you can't use it that soon. Like now, both of us got to get out the car, gentlemen. Step out the vehicle. Like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't timed the shit up the right way, bruh. Like you came in too late. Like you knew I used it. It's like you gotta
Oh
wait just
shit.
a little bit. Now now.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? Look, right there, Delk Road.
Delk
Look over
Road.
there, goddamn Delk Road,
Delk.
Franklin and Delk Road.
Oh
Goddamn.
God. Franklin was one of them places you did not get
Right,
caught out the dog. No, no. No,
bruh.
no.
It's just, bruh. Look. Lee Cobb County alone. Douglas County was like that for a while, and then a lot of black people started moving out here. So we, you know, we vote, pay our taxes,
I mean,
and we have representation.
oh,
It's
that
representation out here. So it ain't as aggressive as it used to be out here. So but
man.
don't come out here with no shit. Don't come out here with no shit now.
Man, I'm telling you the scariest shit. I had a coworker that had a party at his house and invited, all the employees too. So we roll out there. And mind you, he lived in Dallas. But the way it took us, we got off where Arbor Place was and rode. We rode, goddamn, another 30 minutes back roads. And I'm just like, oh shit, it's slavery out here, y'all. Like it was almost like this is I don't even think Get Out had came out yet. But I had that feeling like, all right, y'all, look, anybody try to take your picture, just run the fuck off.
What I'm trying to like in my mind I'm trying to think like what direction were y'all headed in? Y'all were going north or y'all were going south?
You know what? I couldn't even tell you. I thought we were going.
See?
I'm
See?
guessing that would have been going northwest. If I was in Douglasville and ended up
Okay.
in Dallas, I guess that's northwest.
Yeah. Yeah. Northwest. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Northwest.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Hey.
very interesting trip. But it was cool once we got to the house. It was like, oh, it's nice. It's a house. It got stairs and people. This is cool.
Yeah, it's a, you know what, it's a lot of black people. It's a lot of black people in that, you know what I mean, in that area. Because I mean, you could really just get off on you can get off on Thornton Road. Because if
Mm.
you get off on Thornton Road coming 20 West and you make a left, that'll take you all the way down Camp Creek to the airport. But if you go to the right, that'll take you all the way up to Rockmart, Rome, Cedartown, Dallas, Hiram. You know what I mean? Powder Springs, then
And
Olympia Springs,
what's
and
crazy is
then
I,
Austell.
I had never heard of Rockmart until about 2 years ago. My brother got married up there. But before that, I didn't know what Rockmart, Georgia was. I'm like, is that a thing? Is that real? Is that here?
And there's a lot of black folks up there too.
Really? I
Yeah,
I
there's a
was on
lot of black folks up there.
I was only up there for a day. I went up there, DJ my brother's wedding, and I left. Like my parents spent the night up there, had what I'm saying, hung out or whatnot. But yeah, after I packed that stuff up in that truck, I'm like, yo, I'm out. I don't know what the hell I am right now. But yeah, man, yo. So going back to the
Yeah.
old A, man. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go on to the new A, man. How you feel
The
about
new A.
how do you feel about the state of music in this new Atlanta?
Um, it's kind of hard to say. I like the layers. You know what I mean? Like if you could look at the evolution of Atlanta, creatively and as well as like being like a power player just in music in general. If you could look at it in like layers, we have like the foundation, we have the infrastructure. You got to have a little bit of something that's a little bit questionable, and I think that era would be between '05 and like maybe like '09. It was a little, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of, you know what I mean? I mean, we had everything from Snap to, to try. I mean, it was just a lot out there, but nothing was really like you couldn't really say specifically what it was. T Pain was killing it, you know what I mean? And he's like kind of like a de facto Atlanta artist, kinda by way of
I,
Tallahassee.
I was about to say he Florida as hell. But
He
I get what
Florida,
you.
you know what I'm saying? He Florida, but I mean, just his music and his production, that was clearly Atlanta influence. You know what I'm saying? He was living here. He bought his mama a house here. He was living here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that just kind of shows you the power. But like the new infrastructure right now is I'm a little concerned with it because if we were like, let's just use Amaretta once again as an example. If she's a part of the new wave, the new infrastructure, and she don't want to listen and she's presenting like that, I'm concerned. So, but Earth Gang for real just released that Ghetto Guys album. Earth
Earth
Gang,
Earth Gang's
Earth Gang, Earth
that's
Gang. They
that's uh that's
man,
another
Earth.
plane right there. You talking grad school to the high schoolers at that point. Earth Gang's another level, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean Ti, you know what I'm saying? Ti just said, hey, it's a classic, it's an instant classic. I agree. I've been listening to Earth Gang for me. I did get on a little bit late, but
Me too.
like my friends are always telling me, hey, you should check them out. Like people are always sending me music to check out. You know what I mean? Like they're always
Right.
like, yo, like this is dope, this is dope, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm exposed to a lot of music. Thank you to my, to my tribe and my community for doing that. And it makes me feel very special. And so they started sending me some Earth Gang stuff, and I was just like, that Mirrorland album for me resonated a lot, and then the whole Spillage Village, um, and then some of the collaborations with J Cole, because I mean, and Jid, I mean, they're definitely a Dreamville duo. But this Ghetto Guys album, bro, like it's got Future on it. It's got who you know what I'm saying, who else? It's got CeeLo on it. You know what I mean? It's got
Yeah.
I mean just they stepped it up. And the comparisons to Outkast at that point, I never really thought they were like Outkast personally. I get it that like they dress a little different, and it's two of them, and they from Southwest Atlanta, so I get it, you know.
Mm.
But if you look at them, those guys they genuinely have their own identity, and they are going to be here for a long time. So I mean, in terms of them, I like where Atlanta is headed. I like where Atlanta. I mean, shit, I like 21. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I like Lotto. You know what I'm saying? Like I like, I like the fact that Future executive produced Kanye's Donda 2. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like where we are, but we need the Childish Gambinos to put more music out. You
Right.
know, we obviously need what we've been begging for. We need another at least an EP. Like Cass, can y'all give us an EP?
Man.
Just give us like just gorilla drop like 3 songs with y'all together, or
Right.
6 songs, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Something,
Right.
but it's really hard to say where we are musically. Like who's definitively like running, like kind of leading the pack, because everybody kind of needs those guys to come in and right some wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Come
Right some
fix,
things that
come fix some
that we,
shit.
yeah, come fix some shit. You know what I'm saying? Come fix some shit. Like, you know, and then obviously like these younger kids are like they're growing up listening to AT Aliens. They're growing up listening to Aquemini. They're growing up
Hmm.
listening to Southern Player Listed. They're growing up listening to Still Standing. They growing up
Yeah.
listening to like they because those are our kids, and that's what we're playing.
Right.
Uh, but all you I mean really all you got to do is just all you got to do if you can just get and shit Thugger too. Like for real. You know what I'm saying? Thugger does not get the credit that he deserves for his constant innovation. Like he's constantly putting out music. Constantly putting out music.
It's but
It's
it's. I mean, one, keeping it constant and consistent. That's a big thing. Keeping it constant and consistent is a big thing. But if I gave you like 30 pieces of trash over 5 nickels, like I don't know. Like he'll give me a song I like. He'll give me a couple I like. Um, and then it's like, the hell is this? Is uh. Now I did like the whole Jack Boys thing he did with Travis Scott. The Jack Boy shit was dope.
Jack Boy. I listen to Jack Boys like all the time.
I
I
mean,
listen. I listen to Jack Boys all the time.
and
I listen to it today.
what's the boy out of Texas that came off that tape? He had 2 joints on there.
Don Tolliver.
Don Tolliver. Now
Talk about
that Don
about Don
Tolliver.
Tolliver. Yep.
I listened to that. Yo,
Hey,
I turned that
hey,
nigga up.
hey, 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 hey.
I know it.
That's 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 my shit, bruh. That's my shit. The reason why I give Thugger a pass is just because he's going to get he's going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? For all of the stuff, the lackluster stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which I will agree to a certain extent that he does put out there. He'll he'll give you a Jeffrey and it don't fucking matter. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I would rather my artist, you know what I'm saying? Like I would rather an artist I would rather try to see them I would rather see them be brave enough to put out something that they feel like they want to hear, and if it resonates it does, if it doesn't it doesn't, versus being scared to do it and then you just sitting on a stockpile of music.
That's true too.
And it
That
and it
that's true too.
and everybody begging for a certain group to do some shit, and the nigga tell you, oh, y'all will hear all this music after I'm dead. Like, come on, bro. Like, you not that much older than us. I don't want to be listening to new Andre and new Outkast music when I'm 80. Like, bro, can I hear it in my youth? Like, shit.
Like, yeah,
All
particularly
right.
I want them to be here to watch us appreciate them all over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it would be with Cass. It's like Cass is almost like it's like, the people that pray and pray to a shrine of Bruce Lee, you know how Christians waiting on Jesus to come back. Like, yo, ATL wants
Right.
another Cass tape.
Right.
Like,
Right.
just give us one. We didn't know that when Speaker Box and Love Below was on two different tapes, it was gonna be like a real divorce. No, you ain't tell us that shit.
Bruh. I feel like I like up until this year, right? Up until this year, and last year, the Braves finally
Right,
broke through, won a World Series. Georgia finally broke through, won a national championship, right?
right.
Prior to that, Outkast kind of was like our championship. You know
Yes,
what I mean? Like our
yes.
our teams weren't really winning like that, but Outkast winning like album of the year, the 2004 Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Like doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like being the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like having come in number two behind Jay Z's work so many times. Like because you notice like there's a correlation between Jay Z's releases and Outkast releases.
Right.
Outkast would probably have more number one releases had Jay Z not um, been releasing albums like in
Just
proximity.
right. Just as soon as they were.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because if we think about Speaker Box Love Below, that was around Blueprint 2, right? And did
Speaking About Love Below came out in September of 2003.
I think he dropped
I want to
Blueprint
say
2.
September.
Yeah, I want to say Blueprint 2 was around that time, give or take. 'Cause I don't know dates exactly. Matter of fact, we do know one for sure that came out. 98 volume Jay Z. Hard Not Life Volume 2 came out the same day as that would have been Aquemini, correct?
Aquemini came out
That was yeah
September.
September
It
98.
came out September of 90. Yeah, it came out September of 98. I think I want to
Yeah,
say it was September 28th.
yeah, because that was the
September
day.
28th, 1998.
Yeah, because you
Cuban
remember
Link
it.
came out that day. Blueprint 2 came out that day. Like
Uh,
this is like the
Cuban,
biggest hip hop release day like ever.
that was I want to say it was Brand Nubian dropped that day. Cash dropped that day. Hove dropped that day. Was one more. One more.
Raekwon dropped that day.
Mm-mm.
Raekwon.
Was it what Mobilarity? Because Cuban Link came out like 90.
Mm,
Cuban Link came out 95. I want to say 90, 94, 95 ish. Um, nah, and Mobilarity came out
oh,
2000.
was it Big Pun? Let me look
Mm,
that up cause
you know what?
it's
Right.
somebody it is
It was
somebody that we leaving off.
it was like 4 or 5 albums came out that day on September 28th. I remember because I remember posting about this on
Ain't
Instagram.
Mob Deep on there? Ain't Mob
Could
Deep on there?
could have been. Give me 1 second, because if you remember when we had our hip hop conference on the DTTO show, I purposely made it around that date. Let's see if I can find it.
Hmm.
Mm, oh, but yeah, September 28th was I know that was a historic day in hip hop. They always bring that September 28th, 98. They always bring that day up. No, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. It would help with
The
Instagram
most
if they
the
let you.
most impressive. It ain't got no predictive text at all.
Nah.
No predictive text whatsoever. whatsoever. You got to be spot on with everything you put in on Instagram. I be
These
trying
are
to tell these
facts.
hey young people when you out there and you're an artist and you want people to find your Instagram, make that shit like plain language. You know what I'm saying? Like don't spell words differently. You know what I mean? Like make it to where it's easy to find you because there are no suggestions. There's no predictive
No,
text on there.
no. So you'll be done found
So
somebody whose name sounds like theirs and is spelt totally different, and now they mad.
you know, and then you got a nerve, and then you got a nerve to have your shit private. Like, come on, young people. I,
Tell them again.
hey, look, nah, for real, like you know what I'm saying. Like I was talking to some young men, and he's like, yeah, like check out my Instagram, check out my Instagram. So I was like, boom. The young man was explaining his Instagram to me in person. He was doing it in person. He
Okay.
like he couldn't even do it. Like he couldn't even explain his Instagram to me as I was typing it in person. He
Wait,
made
what?
it that complicated. I'm like, the nigga had some hieroglyphics for his shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, first of all, I'm being funny, but he made it so difficult to where like it was like four spades or something like that, and he was spelling the
Wait,
spade
what?
like he was just okay. You know how the artist Black spells black with a six, right?
Right. But yeah.
Um, imagine trying to find a young person's Instagram, but they're spelling their name like Black spells his name, but they're substituting all of these different numbers and symbols for letters, and it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's too difficult. It's too difficult. I want to help you. Help help me help you. You know what I'm saying? Like help me help
Help
you. Like I want to
me.
support you. I want to follow
Help
you.
me.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like like I want to put you in my algorithm, but you made your shit so difficult trying to be different. And sometimes it's okay to just spell shit normally.
Yeah, like with
It's okay.
letters. I promise you, us old people as y'all like to think we are, we still use letters and words. It's okay to still use letters. I
Hell,
promise
I
you.
played a CD the other day.
Man, I hadn't
I
done that in a
played a
while.
CD just the other day.
I can't even sit here in front. I ain't played a
Hey
CD in
man,
a minute.
hey for real. I played a CD. It started skipping, and I was confused and angry at the same time. I was confused because I was like, what the? I was like, what the hell is this? Because you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, when you stream
Oh
music,
shit!
ain't no skipping.
Right, we heard
It ain't
skips in
no
a while.
skipping.
They heard no skip in a minute.
Apparently, apparently, I forgot how they sounded. You know what I mean? Apparently,
Man, that's what you got
and
to
then I
put out.
got mad, and then I got mad because I was like, damn, like I really want to hear this. I really want to hear this. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to fight through the skips.
Right. Okay, so September 28th, well, September 29th, 98, it was Jay Z.
Sep- September
Jay Z,
29th.
yeah, Jay Z
Yep.
dropped Volume 2. Outkast dropped Aquemini. Tribe Called Quest, Brand Nubian, and Black Star.
Yep. Tribe. Brand new. Black Star. Black Star. Black
Black
Star. Black
Star.
Star. Okay.
That was the
Black Star.
that was the black on both sides, right?
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Black on both. Black on both sides is that's most. That's most def.
Oh, that's his solo
Black on
tape.
both sides. Mhm. Mhm. But check this out. Like none of that even matters because the only album to get 5 mics out of all of them is fucking Aquemini.
I'm gonna be honest.
So
I gotta tell my Aquemini story. So when Aquemini dropped, it was right before I turned 15. outside of the singles, I didn't like it. I was like, man, I don't know what cast on this one. I remember giving that disc away. I gave this to one of my cousins or whatever. Second year of college, I told somebody that, and these brothers from Atlanta, but some of them were. One of them from Lithonia. Shout out my boy L Town. That dude said, nah, we're gonna put you on the hot seat. You can listen to this whole album. So now this is me listening to it at about 18, 19, as opposed to being 14, 15. So I listened to it. I was like, it's pretty good. Okay. It's better at this point. Next time I listened to it, I want to say I had a family by then and just saw it on the shelf one day and was just like, I thought it's Outcast. You can't go wrong. Listen to it again. Now, mind you, this is deeper into my 20s. I'm about 26, 27. I got knowledge of self now. So all of a sudden it resonated a whole lot different. I'm like, oh. Now going fast forward a little more, going to my early 30s, I listened to it again and I was just like, this might be the best album I ever heard in my life. Which now, thinking back on when I was 14, about to turn 15, the album had dropped, I wasn't old enough. I could not possibly understand the depth of that album at 14, 15 years old. It took it like you had to been grown to make it, but of course it was two adults made it, and they were at different places in their lives too when they made it. So it's like all this time I'm thinking the album wasn't good. It's like no, I just wasn't old enough for it. Like Aquemini was, and I won't say was and is still ahead of its time. Like you listen to Aquemini now and hear a bar, and that bar resonate different now than it did 10 years ago, 15. Next year it'll be 25. That bar is gonna hit different. You see what I'm saying? Like so,
Yeah.
Aquemini definitely like of albums of all time. Like we're talking about not just Outkast, but just anybody's album. Aquemini to me is up there with your paid in fools, your criminally minded, your criminal minded, your fear of the Black Planet. Like Aquemini has to be in that conversation.
So I have a ton of stories, but so I've always been known as the guy that, what I'm saying, that's just like a huge Outkast fan. Like from day one, you know what I mean? Like it was people that might not even know my name, but they knew that, I had an affinity towards Outkast. So anyway, like my dad was trying to buy me a car like my senior year. So my dad's trying to buy me a car. This was before I got the '88 Ford Escort GT, right? So
Okay.
my dad's trying to buy me a car. At the time, he picks me up and we go back to the house that I lived in the West End, which was right off of Lucille and Greenwich Street. Like you can actually still see the house from the highway.
Okay.
So we we go back and there was an apartment complex, across the street, like a little, what I'm saying, like a unit. So we go in there, and my dad's trying to buy me a car. He's trying to buy me like an 81 Maxima. And this is like the 81 Maxima when like everything in it was green, like the LEDs were like green and everything, and it would actually talk to you. So it'd be like the door is open. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, right?
Oh shit.
So my dad, so like my dad, so like my dad's trying to buy this car for like it's like $100. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what the fuck kind of car am I about to get for $100? Just like for real,
Hey,
for real.
is the screwdriver still
So,
hanging out the steering column?
bruh, just check this out. Like check this out. So so I go in there, right? So we go in there, you know what I'm saying? Like so when I walk in there, I had never seen like a real Blasian girl before ever. You know what I'm saying? This is like '98. Like this girl was black and Asian, like for real, like
Mm.
for real. She was gorgeous.
Mm.
She was the one that was selling my. So like while they're doing that, I look. There's a blank CD. Now, mind you, now this is like around my birthday. My birthday is August 30th, so school had just came in. You know what I mean? So this might have been maybe like right after Labor Day, right?
Okay.
So I look, It's a blank CD. I grab the CD. I look at it. It's a blank CD, but it say Aquemini in the corner. So I'm like, the shit ain't out yet. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, is this Aquemini? She was like, oh my God, Rico's gonna kill me. But shit, go ahead and take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have it. Bruh, me and my niggas, so the car broke down. The car didn't even the damn car didn't even make it back to the house. Like that, the $100 Maxima 81 Maxima broke down about 10 miles, from the house. And I was just like, we just left that
I'll be
shit there.
honest.
But I
At this
had
point, you got your $100 worth out that car.
but I had an advanced studio copy of Aquemini, like a whole 3 weeks before anybody had heard the album. So
Wow.
my boy would pick me up. My boy Franklin, man. Shout out to Franklin Felder, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't talked to you in a while, my brother, man. He was one of my best friends senior year in high school. But he had like a little two-door Pontiac Sunfire, and it had like two 15s in the back. It's a two-door coupe, and it had like two 15s in the back.
Right.
He'd
Was that
pick
car
me
big
up
enough
every
for two
morning for school.
15s?
Bro, it didn't matter, bro. He picked me up for school. I put the CD in, and we missed like the first three periods of class, like that day. You know what I'm saying?
Sitting outside listening
Everybody was
to it.
walking up to me like, bruh, everybody was like, how did you get this? How did you get this? I was like, man, cuz, you wouldn't even believe me if I told you. But that girl, who I guess she was dealing with Rico Wade, she got that CD up out of the studio at the time. And what's crazy is that Organized Noise didn't really work on Aquemini like that. Like, by then, you know what I'm saying, it was Earth Tone 3 Productions, you know what I'm saying? Like, Andre had really started producing a lot, like really most of that stuff, which
Right.
makes Aquemini even more remarkable. You know what I mean? Like, it truly is a beautiful album, conceptually, sonically, lyrically. I mean, it's holding up. You know what I'm saying? Like, songs like Y'all Scared, where Andre basically foreshadows the opioid epidemic, and he said, when it spread to white, it got everyone's undivided attention because your daughter is on it and you can't hide. Like, this was 1998. And what exactly happened? They started dying from opioid overdoses, and they started they was covering it up. Like, they got rehab, we got prison, we got death, we got our communities destroyed and eradicated, right?
Right.
So, I mean, one of the greatest songs to come out of Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Liberation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like church. You know what I'm saying?
It is. That's on the
You know,
spiritual.
I mean, I think at that point everybody knew that Andre was probably, arguably one of the greatest rappers ever at that point on that album. It was solidified on that album for sure. I feel like, and to me currently, and with the way I approach music, I am, like, I'm very open minded, but everything has to go through the Aquemini test for me. Like, every album has to go through the Aquemini test for me.
That's
Like, Agony, like, for real, bruh, every album.
Do you
And
realize
it's only
that?
a few albums there.
Are we talking every album or just every album from Atlanta? Or just every album, period?
And no, every album has to go. And here, for me,
That doesn't leave a
here's the
lot then.
metric, right? Here's the metric. Here's the
Okay.
metric. It has to be groundbreaking, innovative. It has to be a cohesive concept album. It has to be cohesive. You can't just throw stuff out there and it doesn't, and it doesn't mesh. There's no symmetry, whether or not it's asymmetrical or it isn't. It still has to have some level of flow to it, right? So that's one metric.
That's just one.
Your production style, your songwriting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at Aquemini as a front to back album that you have, like, it's up there with the Voodoos, the Mama's Guns, and I'm just talking about just from my own personal catalog. It's up there with albums that are perfection. You know what I mean? Like, I can listen to it at any moment in my life and it'll resonate. I have a sense of nostalgia, but I also create layers with new memories. You know what I mean? Like I can remember now. Like I create a lot of things to Aquemini. You know what I mean? Like so. Um, but albums like Channel Orange by Frank Ocean, albums like Because the Internet by Childish Gambino, um,
Mm.
albums like Solange's The Seat at the Table. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There are Michael Kiwanuka album. You know what I mean? Like there are some albums out there that hit you at every point. You know what I mean? Like if you got a block chakra, you can listen to these albums, and it'll loosen up your blockage. You know what I'm saying? Like these are like Aquemini is an album that has changed my life. I was dating a girl in high school who was going to a church who was pastored by a gentleman by a man named Pastor Hodo. Anyone who knows the story, Pastor Hodo actually ended up marrying Sharon Benjamin, who is, Andre's late mother. So
Mm.
the girl who I'm talking to all the way in high school, like we happened to go to church one Sunday with her, and freaking Erica Badu's in the church. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I feel these people's music because I can pinpoint anecdotally, you know what I'm saying, like my experiences, whether or not it's 1 degree of separation or you know what I'm saying, or it doesn't, but like I said, Aquemini for me is the litmus,
That's the
you know.
bar.
Aquemini, yeah, Aquemini is like Dark Side of the Moon. If you know what I'm saying, like if you're a Pink Floyd fan, you know what I'm saying, like obviously, like that's the one album because you know what I'm saying, because of the imagery with the prism and the spectrum
Right.
coming out of it. But if
Right.
you really listen to Dark Side of the Moon, it's a reason why that album has stayed on the chart. It stayed on the charts for 14 years straight. There's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like it is a masterful album. You know what I mean? Like it's from front to back. Like conceptually, it's a compact, in your face, make you think existential, you know what I'm saying, basically like an exercise in existentialism. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it makes you see outside of yourself. It makes you
Deep.
see, it makes you like transcend and transmutate all of those things, right? So Aquemini is that album, bro. Like it's just that album,
Mm. I mean, and that's
you know.
that.
And
While I can't argue with that, that is heavy. So Equimini is the bar. You realize though, it's. I mean, with saying that, anything above that bar would probably come from what Mike, Stevie, or Prince.
Songs in the Key of Life,
I said Mike, Stevie, or Prince.
Pur- Purple. Look.
Look,
Purple Rain. You know what I'm saying? And
1999 and
I mean,
Thriller.
night, look, 1999, right? 1999, Thriller, and really, you could go off the wall, or there's an argument for bad in some cases. But
uh, yeah. I mean, I could even go as far. I'm gonna be honest.
it,
I go as far as Dangerous.
but the point is that I'm putting, like, you know what I'm saying, like if there's a time capsule, and we have the ability to, you know what I mean, to like fold, time on itself and create a wormhole and send like 5 albums of the world, like 5 albums of the world. Now this
Aqu-
might be a bit hyperbolic, but 5 albums of the world, like I'm gonna have to put Aquemini in there. I'm putting
Ooh.
Aquemini in there. But that's
You know
but
what?
but but you're talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody who is I'm a reasonable fanatic sometimes.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't deny that. Like I'd have to put Aquemini in there too.
Hey,
Uh,
bro.
it,
Hey, man, salute to DJ Agony, man. Like, I appreciate, look, that's a victory right there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
that's
mean,
a victory right there.
because the thing
You
is,
know,
it took me years to really get into that album. Like we're talking about a good 20-year period that I had to grow into that album before it was really talking to me. And I'm like, I hear what you're saying. Like I'm listening now. I listen to Aquemini now just because. Like it's Thursday. I ain't did nothing today. I should turn on Aquemini and do something.
So check this out. And I'm gonna tell you like how deep this runs. Like Equimini really is like my sonic, like my sonic standard. When it don't have to sound like Equimini, but the approach and the energy and the intention behind it has to have Equimini in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Big Sean when he released Detroit 2, um like the first song off that CD. I'm trying to think is that Why Would I Stop? I want to say is Why Would I Stop, right?
Okay.
I was like, nigga, this is how you start an album. You start an album with a proclamation. You know what I'm saying? You start an album. You know what I'm saying with like with an outright explosive manifesto staking your claim. You know what I mean? Like this is what you're about to get, and that's what Return of the G does for Equimini.
Mm.
It's you know what I'm saying? Like it sets the tone. Like hey, look, bro,
Okay, well, let
whatever
me
you
ask you
thought
this.
this was.
Let me ask you this: when you hit play on Return of the Gangster, and Dre come in and he flowing, and you had to, did you pause it and had to rewind it back, or just start the joint over, like before Dre even got halfway through the verse?
Um, my ears, you know what I'm saying? Like my ears receive Outkast differently because when I was like, you know what I'm saying, like when I was, you know what I'm saying, when I was 13, over the Christmas break, me and my boy Gerald Mabry, man, shouts out to Gerald Mabry, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
we listened to Southern Playalistic like for 8 hours straight.
Oh shit.
So I knew how to listen. Like we stayed up all one night playing TurboGrafx 16, listening to Southern Playalistic.
Mm,
Like
mm,
that's
mm.
all we listened, and it was on tape. So we just played that shit over and over and over again. So by the time Equimini comes out, like I know, you know what I'm saying, like I'm in tune. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my favorite group. I was like, this nigga's lost his mind. I was like, Dre has lost his mind. I didn't need to rewind anything. I just was like, at that point, I was like a missionary for Outkast. I was going around preaching the good word. Like, have y'all heard Return of the G? Have y'all, you know what I'm saying?
but
Have you,
but you know what
you
song?
know what I'm saying? Like,
What song on Aquemini did it for me? Did that for me? That was the song Aquemini. That one right there is just almost like, it's almost like an audio Bible.
um, I mean, it belongs in the Smithsonian as well as your CD player, as well as your MP3 player, as well as your flash drive, as well as you know what I'm saying, like your memories.
That's
Like you have to have a copy of Aquemini somewhere. And you know what I'm saying. Like the crazy part about it is like there's really truly only one debate, and that's Aquemini or AT aliens. So
interesting.
as revered as as Aquemini is, AT aliens has like this cult, you know what I'm saying, like this cult reverence about it because it came out the year it came out like it came out like a few days before the Olympics happened in Atlanta. So AT
Mm.
aliens comes out, October 27th, 90 what's that, 96. And then you have,
95.
what I'm saying, and then you have like the following week, you have, the Olympics. So
Well,
it's like Atlanta's like,
The Olympics were in the summer, so it had to come out '95.
right.
Yeah. Um, that was one of those things. Just
No,
remembering
fact
that
check me on that. Fact,
we got to go
fact
back
check me
because
on
you know
that.
what? Because by the time that came out, I was in the. It would have had to been summer of '96 because that's when I went to the eighth grade, and AT Aliens was the soundtrack of the eighth grade. Like I'm catching two buses going all the
Bruh,
way up to
August, bruh,
Doraville.
I'm
But
telling you, August, I'm telling you, man, August 27th, man, like, as a matter of fact, that's why we got, you know what I'm saying, like, that's why we got the 25-year anniversary edition of AT Aliens this year, you know what I'm saying, with the instrumentals, you know what I'm
right,
saying, on the back end, you know what I'm saying, so it's
so we
completely remastered.
yeah.
Uh,
And I got to listen to Wheels of Steel. I'm telling you, 'cause as a
so,
DJ, as a DJ, I appreciate the scratch work in Wheels of Steel. Like it was next
Mr.
level.
DJ a beast, bruh. Mr. DJ a
Okay,
beast, man. You know what I'm saying?
Au-
Like
August
between
20,
him and Andre's production style.
August 27th, 96.
August 27, 96. You know
So
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that
So,
would have been around the
you
time of the
know,
summer games. Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was literally like the following week. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the beautiful thing about AT Aliens is the fact that, you know, Ryan Cameron would play the first half of that album every morning. He would play
that's
all
true.
the way. He would play Wheels of Steel. He would play Wheels of Steel, ATL. He would play Jazzy Bell, and then he would wrap up with like maybe like
He
Elevators or
he
something like that. But
he
he would
wrapped up
play
with
like pretty much like the,
Elevators.
yeah, you know
Because
what I'm saying. He would pretty much play like the first half of that album like every morning.
yeah, yeah, that was me getting ready for school every morning. I'll never forget it. But my song on ATLs was Babylon though. That song was
But Babylon was when we knew Dre was like we that you know what I'm saying, like we was like, did you hear that nigga? They made them guess they got some shit to
should
blow out our
blow out our
back from
backs
where
from
they
where they
stay at.
stay at.
What?
Man, yeah.
What, bruh? Like for real, for real.
Oh, there
So
we go. We do got fact
and then
check in the
also
building. Yep.
appreciate you, appreciate you,
Big
appreciate you,
shouts out to
appreciate you.
big shouts out to boy Thompson in the building. What's going on, man? Appreciate you checking in.
You
But
know, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. So
and it was one of those things to where it was like with ATLians, it's like you said, it had more of a cult following as opposed to a Southern playalistic versus Stankonia versus, you know what I'm saying, Aquemini. There's a cult following with that one. And it's not by no means is it a bad album. It's just it's cultish. You know what I'm saying?
that album really, to be honest, Outkast has one, two, in my opinion, you know, obviously Aquemini would, you know what I'm saying, would be an authentic five mic album. But them first three are five mic albums.
Easily.
Them first three,
Easily.
like the first three albums in Outkast catalog is flawless.
Easily. Like
Flawless.
that's indebatable.
Flawless.
That goes without
Flawless.
debate. Without
It
debate, man.
it gets a little bit shaky with Stank on You. After So Fresh So Clean, when you get snapping and trapping. My Ye don't mix like something and you know what I'm saying, like you can't even really, the flow is just, you know what I'm saying, the flow does not stick with you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? The flow don't stick with you. But even in that, Stank on You is still a four mic album.
Right.
I want to say four and a half. I want to say four and a half, but you know there are a couple of questionable songs on there, so I'll
It's
say 4.25.
I'd say it's a solid four mic album, which still ain't bad. Still ain't damn bad. We
So
talking if we talking
so so
Cass.
so if you look at all of that, if you got your first four albums, five, like, and this is just my personal rating, 5.554, right?
No
I
argument.
mean, shit, that's like a 4 point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a 4.8. Like no, the only person that could compete with Outkast is Kanye West.
Hmm. Hey, no arguments here. That yo, tell him folk, man, yo, I appreciate you coming through, bruh. Kicking that good shit, man. Yo,
Appreciate
we
you
are
for
going.
having me, man. Appreciate you for having me.
This is as I like to say, one of many. And I'm looking at my counter. This is supposed to be an hour show. We pushing about 145 right now. You know what I'm saying? but it's all good. I ain't got nowhere to be. Where I got to go? Where I got to go at? But that's how you know it was a
I
good one.
love
And
it.
like I
I
said,
love it. I
we
love
done
it.
damn near hit the 2 hour mark and could have still kept going. You know what I'm saying? But yo, tell these folks on
Hey,
the
I wasn't
social.
gonna say nothing. You didn't say nothing. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Indeed, man, indeed. So tell these folks what you got going on, where they can follow you, and you know what I'm saying. Let them know what's up, man.
All right, man. Once again, my brother, thank you for having me, man. You know, I will talk all day long. I didn't even get into a whole lot of other stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate it.
And let's say, keep
Appreciate it.
going, keep going.
Free, hey, appreciate it. But no, no, no. You can definitely find me. Monk ATL Leatherworks. You can find me out there on the belt line on the weekends. You know what I mean? It's about to get warm. I handcraft all my own leather cuffs, bracelets, wallets, chokers, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an artist through and through. You can find me on Thursday nights. You know what I'm saying? Rocking out. You know what I'm saying? Rocking out beer in the conversation.
Yo, big shouts out to Laris, Hodges, and the whole crew over at Beer in the Conversation. Yo, we gonna have to definitely do some crossover,
Hey, hey, for real, for real, for real. He said gas is too high to be running around. Keep going.
man.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, but yes. Holler at me, Music Monk ATL on Instagram, Monk ATL also on Instagram. Just holler at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can chop it up about anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm open to anything about music. I've never said I know everything about music, but I am open to learning everything about music, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, like that's kind of my philosophy. I feel like it's infectious. I feel like that's the only way you can really learn about different, you know what I'm saying, different frames of thought, different frequencies. It's just being open to it. You know what I'm saying? Once you try it out, you know, it might not be for you, or it may lead you down the rabbit hole to discovering some other music. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
definitely, I know they want us to keep going, and I would, but I got to stretch, man. We've been sitting here almost 2 hours. Let's do it again. Let's go ahead and book it out.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
here, man.
definitely.
Y'all holler at me. Holler at me. Appreciate y'all. Whatever y'all do, be safe. Watch out for the chargers. Use your blankers. Look both
Hey,
ways when
wait,
making your turns.
wear y'all seatbelts too, y'all. Wear y'all seatbelts. DJ Agony
Wear
says
y'all
wear your seatbelt.
seatbelts. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't drink and drive. I want everybody to make it home safely, man. Enjoy it, man. Protect our city. Add to the culture. It's your boy,
Right.
Music Monk ATL. I'll see y'all next time, all right?
All right, and remember, follow me everywhere. Dope Enterprise on Facebook, Dope Enterprise on YouTube, at Dope Dot Enterprise on Instagram. Be looking out for that quick 30. Like I said, top 10 black shows better than Friends. That'll be coming at y'all Wednesday about 8. But after that, yo, next Friday we'll be right here doing it again. Don't worry, don't this guy right here. Don't worry about it. You gonna see him again. Trust and believe you gonna see him again. Until the next time, remember, as I always end every show, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. I am DJ Agony. That is Music Monk. This is dope. We are out. Peace.
Peace.